question 9. Use a ruler and a protractor to make an accurate drawing of this triangle. So there's a little sketch of this triangle. It's not drawn to scale, so yours will look different to this. It's asking for your bottom line to be 10.3 centimetres, this angle on the left at 46 degrees, and this angle at the right to be 59 degrees. So we're going to start with the bottom line to make that 10.3 degrees. You're going to end up drawing 2 lines above here, so make sure you've got enough space. That's why they've given you the whole page at the bottom. So bring your ruler down reasonably far, because you're not going to be drawing anything underneath your line, you're going to be drawing it on the top. So if I draw my line here, we're going to go from 0 centimetres to 10.3. So make sure you're being very accurate here. So right at 0, and then 10 centimetres, 1, 2, 3 millimetres. Now the examiner will give you the mark if you are plus or minus 2 millimetres. So if I just measure that again, that's perfectly at 10.3 millimetres. But if you had 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4 or 10.5 millimetres, the examiner would give you 1 mark for that. So it's a 3-mark question. So your first mark comes from drawing that line accurately. Sorry, 1 mark. So this here is 10.3 centimetres. I now need to look at this angle here at 46 degrees. So I take my protractor to this side of the line because I'm doing this angle, and I put the corner of my protractor right on the end of that line. So this cross here in that little circular gap is exactly in the centre. My line is in the centre of that. I now need the 0 line to be directly on my line. So this line is touching the line I'm working with, so I'm going to count from this 0 here. So I'm using the inside. I'm obviously not going to start counting from this one because that is absolutely nowhere near what I'm trying to draw. So this 0 here is touching the 0 line, the bottom of my triangle, so I count from here. I definitely don't start counting from 180, that would be a bit silly. So I start counting from 0 up to 46. Here's 40, so 45 would be here, 46 would be that small line. So I've just made a small mark to say that that would be 46 degrees. So now I'm just going to draw. So my question here says this is 46 degrees. So I'm just going to draw a line straight through this line and the corner of my triangle. Doesn't matter what size it is, because I'm going to then do the same from this corner. And what will happen is these 2 lines will meet at some point to form my triangle. So it doesn't really matter how long this line is. It doesn't give me a measurement to go by. So I can now measure this angle again just to make sure I've done it right. So corner right in the centre, line on the 0 line, counting from 0, and that is exactly 46 degrees. So I'm just going to label that up, 46 degrees. I'm going to do exactly the same from the other side now, but that needs to measure 59 degrees. So I take my protractor to this corner and I put the centre right on the edge of my line. Hold it tight. Now this time, this is the 0 that's touching my line, so I'm using the outside scale. I'm using the one that starts with 0 because I wouldn't start counting from 180, that would be really daft. So we're going from 0, counting up to 56. Here's 50, 55. Oh, it's not 56, sorry, it's 59. So that would be this one here. Again, I'm just making a tiny little mark. So when I take my protractor away, I can then draw a line from the edge of my triangle going straight through the line I just made. And now you'll see that these points cross to make the top of my triangle. So I'm just going to double check that I've done this accurately. So line on the 0 line, counting up, is exactly 59 degrees. So again, the examiner will give you plus or minus 2 degrees. So if you measured this at 44, 45, 46, 47 or 48 degrees, the examiner would give you 1 mark. And the same for this angle here, plus or 2 degrees. So 57, 58, 59, 60 or 61 degrees would get you that 1 mark, giving you a total of 3 marks.